Hey everyone, it's Eddie here at Eddie Makes Art. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make really awesome dynamic prints on your gel plate using two stencils. Today I'm featuring my newest design called Teardrop Petals that is available in 3 sizes as usual from pmartstudio.com. It's available in a 8x10 and a 9x12. I'll be using the 9x12 today. However, it comes in a 5x7, but the design in the 5x7 is a much larger version of the um, regular design, which is, I think, a really cool cool look, and you'll see that in an upcoming video. I'm using diamond rings here as my first stencil, and the reason I put the paint down first before I put the stencil down is because I want the outline of the design. So in order to get that, I need to put down my paint first, pull the paint through the stencil with paper, and then when I lift the stencil, I've got the outline. Now, I just got to let that dry. Here's my teardrop petals. This is the newest one for December. Now, when you lay your next layer of paint, be gentle and be generous, meaning be generous with the paint and be gentle with your brayering, because you don't want to risk pulling up the paint from the first layer you took a long time to get. All right, these layers, you want to make sure they're completely dry between each layer of paint. So this one's going to dry. For the pull color, I'm using a matte finish Buttercup from Folk Art. It's a craft paint, but it's a wonderful color. And I think that the matte finish is going to work really well against the gold and then also pop out that indigo blue from the first layer. For this print, to pull it, I'm using my Hammermill color copy paper, which y'all know I use a lot. And as a pickup paper, I'm using my medical exam paper, and stuff's really good. I highly recommend it. It's important that you clean the edges off when you're doing these prints so that the paper doesn't get stuck to the edges, and that's a risk you run into. But as always, crack the edges and make sure everything is nice and loose. Look at that print. It's gorgeous. I love it. Very cool. All right, let's move on to the next one. For this one, I'm going to start with the PM Studio Design Aqueous Effervescence and the Pebeo High Viscosity Iridescent Blue-Green paint that I'm going to put through the stencil, because this time I want the effect of the stencil, and which to me is like bubbles in the ocean. And again, here I'm going to clean up my edges so that I don't have any funky business going on when I go to pull the print. If you're interested in any of the designs you see here today, they're all available at pmartiststudio.com. The link and other links for things that I use and do are in the description box, always under my videos. Now, once that layer is dry, I'm going to use this paint mix that I'm making here, sort of a chartreuse green looking color, with the bright yellow green, some titanium white, bismuth yellow, which is a golden paint. This is right there. And I thought it'd be a great pairing with the iridescent blue-green paint that's down on the plate already. Here's teardrop petals again, and again, be gentle. Use enough paint so that when you're brayering this out, you don't pull up any of that wonderful stuff that you've already put down. And I decided that I wanted an orangey color to pull this with, sort of a fiery orange, but not red. You know what I mean? Like it kind of in between there. So once this all dries, or while this dries, I'm going to mix up a new color to use as a pull color. And I'm going to start with this cadmium orange and adding some alizarin crimson. And again, the golden acrylic bismuth yellow and some titanium white. I recommend mixing your paint colors on a separate palette like I'm doing here. This is my 5x7. It just allows you to, get the right mix that you want, um, and play around without, possibly ruining what you've already done on the gel plate. I'm getting every last bit out of there, every last bit out of that white. But don't worry, I got a new one today in my delivery. Now, as I'm mixing this, I'm thinking it's a little too dark, so I'm trying to lighten it up a little bit with the white, and I'm going to add some primary yellow, different than the bismuth yellow, just to brighten it up a little bit. And I like that. Look at the contrast on that. It is amazing, and I think this is going to work like super, super well. I'm trying to line up my paper here, but I'm noticing that some of the edges may need a little bit more paint so that I don't um, leave any white patches. So that's what I'm doing here. And for my pull paper, I'm using this Yasutomo sketch paper, which is a rice paper, and it's wonderful for gel prints. So as far as dry time, this one I let dry overnight. So I probably sat on the gel plate at least 6 hours. I get up early in the morning, and so it had a chance to really all melt together and all dry together to make sure that it all pulled up well. All right, that needs to dry, but let's look at the pull. And the one funny thing you'll notice is I laid the paper down a little off. You notice the orange border is only on one side. It should be on all four sides, but Grandpa's eyes aren't what they used to be. But look at this print. Oh my God. Now you know why I chose to put it in the thumbnail. It is stunning. Look at that. Oh my God, I love it. One of my favorites in a long time. For this next one, I'm starting out with an 8x10 gel plate that's got some really cool mucky muck on it, left over from a previous print. And I'm using my stencil here, Medieval Floral, also available at PM Artist Studio, and a cad yellow medium hue. Now, I know that I have the rest of that orangey red paint left, so I'm going to try and do like a primary color sort of print. So using my teardrop petal stencil, I'm adding the rest of that orangey mix with more of the alizarin crimson added that I didn't add to the first batch, and added it and mixed it all together. So this is my red layer, and I love the look of the three primary colors like this in a gel print. It's just always really, really like striking. Looking good. All right, that's gonna dry, and I'm gonna mix up a lighter blue using a phthalo blue mix with titanium white. I love that shade of blue. It's just really like, it's bright, it's fresh, it's cheerful. Very good. All right, let's see what this looks like. Again, this dried for a few hours because it's got a couple of thick layers on there. So I was very patient. I didn't peek, nothing. Here we go. Crack them edges, and let's check out this last print. Ooh, ooh. Look at that. That is awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you learned something. I hope you took something away. Don't forget to hit like, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you very soon. Bye, everyone.